Hello, beautiful souls. I hope you're doing amazing. I hope you are experiencing timelines of ascension in effortless, graceful, and joyful ways. The reason why I'm recording this message is I've received multiple questions with very similar content. And I decided to record the video because I thought maybe it would be interesting for you to receive this and for me to share the topic that stands dearly to my heart. So the questions that I've received were, Polina, you are a trans channel for multiple star nations. You are a contact specialist with extraterrestrial beings and helping humanity to shift into future timelines through applying and walking the pathway of ascension. Why so much of your online content that I share on social media is about kindness, compassion, being a good person. Aren't you supposed to share about arrival of star nations and appearing in front of our doorsteps? Or why are you not talking about very spicy topics that many people are very excited when they think about star nations, especially contacting extraterrestrial beings and what it would mean to humanity? So I think I should answer that. You see, we all have our soul missions. We all have reasons why we, on a soul level, have decided to incarnate on planet Earth. Our missions are never linear, so it's never just one theme that we have to explore. Our life missions are very multidimensional, and there are so many aspects that we get to cover in one lifetime. When it comes to my personal journey here on Earth, I'm very well aware of the reasons why I've infused myself into this physical matrix, why I was born. And one of the reasons that I decided to come to this planet Earth in human form, remember, it's not the main one, it's one of, is to support humanity in shifting into higher realms through accessing and navigating heart consciousness. And through my particular channel, because I have a contract, an agreement with star nations, with especially Sirius B, Andromeda, and Arcturus, to share messages that are allowing us to embody next layers of our multidimensionality. And when we speak about embodiment, we mean flying. When we talk about frequencies, when we talk about dimensions, when we talk about very etheric, valuable concepts, how do we breach them and how do we actually apply them in our real physical human life so it makes difference? So we shift in a completely different dimensional grid, which manifests in aligned ways in our reality. And councils of light from Sirius B, they're continuously sharing the same message through my channel. Be a good human, be kind, be compassionate, embody empathy, embody consciousness of love. And personally, this, I think, is very important message that we get to explore and embody, because what makes us human is our understanding of our nature. But what if modalities, principles that we see as foundational that make us humans are based on slightly different energetic grid? I don't like using terms of artificial AI matrix or anti-life software and so on, because it only invokes fear. And since we are not opening up those big topics, I don't want to mention those templates. But what if previous concepts that we were operating on and using as a foundational model for our journey of ascension were rooted in the slavery matrix and into the fear-coded energetic pathways? Right now, on a collective level, we all are shifting into higher realities. Some people are participating in this process actively, and they are very proud of it. Others have nothing to do, as they think, with ascension. They don't even know those terms. They know nothing of spirituality, and they want nothing to know about it. They're equally participating in this process, just subconsciously, because it all happens naturally. So we all have our role in creation. So as we all are shifting into higher realities and higher dimensional grids, it means that the very core of our belief system has to be readjusted, has to be calibrated and aligned with new frequencies that we tap into. And the human value system is one of the fundamental cores that needs to be upgraded with consciousness of pure love, unconditional truth, and radical honesty. This is what allows us to move into those realities that we are fantasizing and dreaming about. Unity consciousness being embodied, where we don't have to seek anything for outside of ourselves, when we don't have to shield our hearts from each other because there is no fear that we would be hurt, misused, abused, manipulated, and subjected to something that we are not consciously consenting into. All of these topics are very, very big, and I'm sure you, the one who's watching this video, have been contemplating on the nature of your existence and directions that you are going. So working with star beings and consciousness of pure love always allows us not only to receive information that helps us to expand our awareness, such as cosmology, such as a history of our spiritual lineage and the anatomy of our soul and I matrix, all of those incredible topics that I personally find fascinating. But at the same time, mentoring or walking this pathway alongside with cosmic beings also allows us to become better humans, to return back to our authentic selves, to return back to nature, and to see that so much that occupies our mind and occupies our heart is unnecessary. It doesn't exist. It's not real. We made it real. We gifted value to it. We created significance to those templates, and we added significance to those templates because we didn't know any better, because we didn't know that majority of what we think as behavioral patterns are normalized. They're not actually real. They're not organic to our human nature. And when we speak about human nature, it's actually the nature of our soul. And our soul is kind. Our soul is compassionate. Our soul is generous. Our soul is radically honest, truthful. And humility is what makes us humans. Not the way that we walk, the way we talk, and the way that we make money, the way that we interact with each other, but it's actually the virtues of our soul that are rooted within our heart consciousness and reflected through our daily lives, through our actions. It's easy to be a wonderful and great person when you are filming a video and you're recording yourself and you're about to post it on Instagram and be very happy with watching people liking this video or disliking it. But what kind of human are you without cameras, when there is no one watching, when there is no audience? It's just you and God. It's just you and your heart consciousness. It's just you and your integrity. So what councils of light and beautiful star nations, benevolent beings of stars, they're teaching us, and I'm also part of this process because they're teaching us through my channel, including how to be humans, how to infuse our physical selves with consciousness and virtues of our soul. And when we do so, when we step into this pathway, we truly open up our eyes. First of all, not to the world around us, but we open up our eyes to ourselves. We begin to understand that our integrity is so much more majestic than we allow it to express because we are afraid that we would be judged, because we think that that would be dismissed, or, we all have our own stories and narratives that we think are reasonable enough to keep ourselves hidden, to keep ourselves behind the scenes, or to keep ourselves unexpressed. So stories aside, we all are born into this physical reality with a mission. Our mission is so multidimensional. We have so many different topics and themes that we get to explore. When we know that our purpose is interwoven with the purpose of our kind as collective, we feel much more safer to express it. We feel less burdened and less missioned to do this. It becomes a joy. It becomes a purpose. It becomes something that we do with ease, and we enjoy the process rather than a task that if we don't accomplish, we will receive a horrible grade. We would be sent to bad realms. We will not be experiencing abundance, joy in the next lifetime, and we'll have to walk our pathway somewhere rooted in complete scarcity if we don't do well in this lifetime. I've worked with some people who believe that that's the case, that's the reality, but that's a choice. So the question that I get asked a lot, why are you talking about kindness? Why are you talking about empathy? Because kindness, empathy are the virtues of Christ's qualities. And when I talk about Christ, I don't mean a specific figure. I mean the entire field of consciousness. It's source consciousness, consciousness that has birthed us, not only on human level, but also birthed our soul, birthed our oversoul and whatnot. So when we begin to untangle from the mental fear-based and conditioned matrix of the first, second, third dimension, we shift into the fourth dimensional consciousness, which is consciousness of the heart. And that is the realm where so much is happening. Fourth dimension isn't all about butterflies and rainbows and just eating fruits and singing songs and dancing all day long and celebrating creation. Fourth dimensional consciousness is the bridge between mental matrix and the spiritual anatomy of our soul. So the journey of our soul begins when we tap into the fourth chakra. And before we begin to embody our virtues of the soul, we have to deal with value system. We have to deal with templates. We have to deal with programs, collective programs, individual programs, karmic programs, programs of races. So there is so much that we get to unpack. And without clear guidance of those who have already walked this journey, we can get lost on this pathway. And some people, they activate their heart consciousness, expecting that it would be a miracle reality. And then they feel so much pain, they feel so much grief, they feel so much suppressed anger, emotions, and just decide to go back into the third dimension. And they naturally shift there because that mental grid is so much more safer. It doesn't invite us to be so responsible for the choices that we make, not only in this lifetime, but in all parallel realities. Because when we open up our field, we naturally connect to parallel versions of ourselves that are also incarnated on planet Earth. Tara, Gaia, parallel realities are all interconnected, and we begin to feel those realities. So imagine dealing with one life, with the choices that you make in your reality, and multiplied by 12. So sometimes the extent of our emotional body and the intensity that we feel in our heart can be very, very overwhelming. And this is why councils of light are sharing with us that we need to stick to the pathway. We need to return to our spiritual core, which is being good, which is being kind, which is being all loving, which is following the wisdom of love. And by following the wisdom of love, we return to ourselves. We return ease into our cells, into our biological and anatomy of our physical body. And then all vibrations of dissonance and misaligned energies, they are naturally shifting out of our field, and we attract timelines and we attract different realities where we experience ease. So kindness, compassion is part of the humanitarian consciousness, and sixth dimensional consciousness of a divine human being is consciousness of love, consciousness of kindness. So we have to embody that. There is no other way. We can make lots of money, we can be very famous, we can be very good and shiny and beautiful and happy and ever young and living eternal life. But would there be happiness? Would there be sense of fulfillment in the heart? Would there be true knowing that this life is a gift and we are carrying this gift with honor? We are carrying this gift in through integrity of our heart. So one of my themes that I get to explore in this lifetime is reconditioning, redirecting and rewiring the very core of value system of not just one individual being, but collective consciousness. And through social media, it's easier to share the messages. It's easier to keep saying the same things, but people hear the same things, and maybe one day something will be activated in the heart and big miraculous changes will take place. Remember, when we take one step toward God, toward Source, who is love, God, Source, our spiritual families of light, they take millions, billions of steps towards us. And one of the beautiful messages that I personally like, that all councils of light, all star nations that I work with, they say, we will always meet you in those spaces where you are able and willing to meet yourself. They're always guiding us back to our core. They're guiding us back to our heart. Because within virtues, we find the truth, we find the light, and we embody it. And shadow naturally balances itself out. Imagine living in a world where you have nothing to hide. There is no shame, there is no fear, there is no doubt, there is no hierarchy, there is no control that is used through fear. But there is divine order, there is divine alignment and synchronicity. And all beings are different. They look different, they live differently. But within those differences, there is harmony. There is no brutality, no violence, there is no abuse of one being over another. There is no manipulation. And this world exists. It exists within us. And we need to access it if we want to. By accessing that world, we access our true nature and we shift into Gaia. Out of Earth, out of Tara, into Gaia. But we cannot bypass anything on this journey. We cannot just fantasize about those realities and talk about it, but not apply. We cannot skip anything when it comes to evolution. We may think that we evolve so fast and we shift into higher realities overnight because we command internal space to do so. But it takes time to walk the pathway of love and to see majesty, to see miracles, to see the gifts in every phase of this journey. So embodying consciousness of love, embodying consciousness of your soul helps us to shift on a physical level, on the cellular level, to those realities. And they're not too far away from this current moment. It's within us. So when we choose to be loving rather than being dishonest, we direct our intention to ourselves, and our cells activate electricity that is encoded by God into our being. And this electricity gets amplified, magnified. It connects to electricity of our planet. It connects to electrical system of our collective field. And we rise to higher dimensions. But it is a very grounded process that we have to take. So beautiful souls. That's the question. That's the answer to the question. Why do I talk so much about love and values? Values is a lovely anchor that keeps humanity within specific grid. And no matter how many quantum activations you pump yourself with, no matter how many frequencies, your cosmic frequencies are running through your field, if you choose to walk alongside with the integrity of your spirit, always remaining within your spiritual core, always being connected to the domain of your love, domain of your life, which is God's source consciousness within your heart. And if you're not shy about being you, then your reality will reflect this, and all resources that are needed to be supplied for your life mission, they will be provided for you by God. Remember, God is your banker. Source field is your divine supply, not humans, not anything that is reflected in the physical reality. It's your connection to source. And if you like this message, if you feel that beyond words that I shared with you, you feel frequency, I'm inviting you to visit my website, and there is a lot of free content that I've recorded, and it's there as a gift. The intention of this content is for all beautiful and aligned souls to experience direct connection with their God within, connection with the soul, connection with the essence of peace, and enter the domain of peace, enter the domain of good within self. Feel the difference between being stressed, worried, bothered, concerned, afraid, tired, anxious, and so on. And the difference between being in peace, being within the peace, being one with your own energy body, interacting with the energy body, hydrating yourselves with the frequency of love that is within your energetic field already. So you get to feel the difference in those states, and then you get to choose, what do you prefer to be the theme of your life journey? To be battling anxiety, to battling scarcity, or to shift into alignment with being fully held and supported, where all resources are there provided for you by God, because you're choosing to be the divine tool, divine vehicle, an extension of source consciousness, being the embodiment of your soul, and sharing your life mission, sharing your natural frequency with the world the way divine plan has allowed you and inspired you and invited you to do so. Remember, there is human order, which is very interesting. I perceive it as messy in a lovely way. And then there is divine order. Divine order is the order of harmony, order of love, order of light. This is the future that we all are shifting into. And my mission is to support as many souls to shift into those realities, to fly on wings of love to the field of peace, divine connection, and alignment with source in every single way. Thank you so much for watching this video. And once again, please go to my website and enjoy free content. And if you feel like working with me, please feel free to schedule a call. Right now, I am opening up my beautiful new program. It's called the Field of Resources. It's a crystalline sequence of quantum activations. If you want to receive more information, please go to the matching page and read information. If you feel like joining the program, please book a call where you and I can jump in Zoom meeting and scan your field, scan the field of your mission, and see what is your pathway for accessing divine supply that is assigned as your legacy, as you, as your field, as the wall that you receive everything that you need for your life mission to unfold in this lifetime as God intended it to be, as Source intended it to be, as your soul has envisioned for this lifetime. Or if you feel like speaking to star nations and receiving clarity answers or calibrating your system, please feel free to book a trans-channeling session. I also offer business sessions where we channel the mission of your business and the soul of your business or hobby or specific template or consciousness that you are here to activate and to embody and express. So there are so many beautiful pathways how we can interact frequency-wise or in person or online. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your awareness and directing your energy to watch this video. I hope you received something for yourself by watching this recording, and I'm sending you so much love. Please be well, look after yourself, and look after those who are around you, look after our planet. And together, we will shift into beautiful timelines because we are already there. Thank you so much for watching.